Hello players, welcome. This is your boy Jaystiqs coming at you with another video. So I'm going to share with you 5 things you can do to improve your drumming, and these things have an added bonus of increasing your creativity. So let's get into it. Before we move along with all these awesome, fabulous, stupendous, incredible tips, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified every single time there's a new video. The likes, we are trying to get to 170 likes on this video. Let's do the business. 170 likes. Okay. Tip number 1, practice in the dark. So when you're playing, you're using your eyes and your ears to calculate and measure the accuracy of whatever you're playing. But when you take out the eyes from the equation, then you can hear the tiny imperfections and the minute irregularities in your playing. So that's what happens when sometimes you play something and you record it. You think it sounds good in the moment, but when you go and you just listen to it with the sound, it sounds like, whoa, oof, that was off. So by taking out your eyes, you're able to accurately judge the authenticity of what you're playing. So here are some other bonus things that it does. It helps you focus. It helps you cut out distractions. Some pianists, when they're playing on stage or concerts or stuff like that, they close their eyes because it helps you get in the zone. It helps you get into that flow state. I read a really good book a while back. It's called The Practicing Mind. And the Practicing Mind talks about getting into that flow state. So the flow state is a state in which you don't notice that you're doing the thing that you want to do. You're so locked in that the brain has just taken over and you're doing the thing. You can get into the flow state in practice. You can get into the flow state in performance. For athletes and musicians, when you get into the flow state, it literally becomes effortless and there are no restrictions to your movement because the brain has taken over and you're in that flow state. But then the moment you notice that you're in the flow state, you've broken out of the flow state. That's like, I think that happens. But the goal and the aim of this is to get into the flow state. And by closing your eyes, it's a very good way of cutting out everything and focusing on only the practice thing you're doing. Tip number 2, sit at the edge of your seat. So this sounds crazy, I know, but balance is a very important thing when you're sitting behind the drums. Because if you're not well centered on the seat, you will not be able to do things like coordination, independence, double kicks, triple kicks, sometimes even single kicks, because your movement needs to be balanced onto something. That's how come it's difficult to stand and play the drums. That's why we sit. So if you're seated and you're not balanced and you feel like you're falling or like your center of gravity is not well situated on the seat, it creates a problem because you're not able to play to the best of your ability. So for me, the best position sitting on the seat is 3/4 of the way in front. So you divide the seat into 4 parts. Then the first 3 parts, you sit on that side and leave the last 1 part. That is what works for me. That way I'm facing the drums. My weight is distributed onto the drums, not backwards. Because when it's distributed backwards, I'm not able to articulate onto the drums. I want to be able to put my weight on the drums when I'm playing. Here are some examples of what I mean. Tip number 3, put your sticks and practice pad literally in the middle of your room. So there's this thing with behavioral science that says that if you're trying to create a habit, a new habit, you have to create an environment such that the habit can be triggered. Let's say you do like cake, right? Hot, fresh, tasting good. It has that umami. Does cake have umami? I don't know. Our cake has umami, right? You enter the room and there's cake right in the middle of the room. And you see it and you like cake. Your first response is, there's some cake. You know what? Let me just taste it and see the ratio of the distribution of sugar to milk. I'm not trying to eat it. I'm just tasting it and giving an evaluation of what needs to be done. And the next time the person decides to bless me with another piece of cake, I'm just saying. Things in the environment that you live in trigger you to do certain things. So imagine this is your room. The bed is over here. Your table is right there. And your closet is here. And the door is here. Put your drumsticks and pad directly in the middle of the room, such that When you're on your bed, you can see the pad and sticks. When you're at the closet, you can see the pad and sticks. When you're at the table, you can see the pad and sticks. When you enter the room, you can see the pad and sticks. What is the meaning of this? It puts your mind in the state of, oh, I've not played drums for the past 32 days. I might as well just pick it up and do some things. Just do some things. And then you would find yourself practicing for 5 minutes. If you do that every day, practice for 5 minutes, I guarantee you'll be a better drummer. Tip number 4, dance or move to the beat of the music or whatever. Okay, so this comes back to what we were talking about the flow state, right? So you're trying to get into the position where your brain takes over and you're not doing all the micro calculations of, oh, I need to do a 16th note here. I need to do paradiddles on the top of the left of the next of the this. That's too much to handle for your brain at the point in which you're performing on stage, because you just need to be able to flow and be in that flow state. So what you do is, if you're nervous, if you're feeling like you're not getting it, you're not locking very well, just start to move. You just start to move while playing. You don't need to do a full-on dance session. Just move along with the beat you're playing, or better yet, just nod your head along with the beat. But the basic idea is, this switches you from the calculation state to the feel state. And when you get to the feel state, the brain just takes over and you enter into that flow state that we talked about. And in the flow state, everything works. Sometimes you're in the flow state and you play things that you don't know you know how to play. And later you can't even figure out what you did because you were in the flow state. That's how good the flow state is. So we do this to induce the flow state whilst you're performing and playing drums on stage. This video is brought to you by the Drum Chops Builder app. It's an application that can help you save your drum fills. If you have an idea and you don't have drums immediately to practice it on, you can save it on the Drum Chops Builder app and practice later. That's basically the idea. And there are a whole bunch of other features like shared mode, where you can share, like in a shared session with the app, play alongside with it. It's amazing. Check it out. The link is in the description down below. Tip number 5, practice rudiments to music if you feel like the click is too boring or the metronome is too boring. So 90 times out of 10, most drummers are going to be playing along with music anyway, unless you're going to play at some clinic where you need to play a 15-minute drum solo that doesn't have any music in it. Most drummers just want to play in church, play at a gig, play in a band, play to their grandma, play to their cat, whatever it is. Most of the time you would be playing along with music. So it's better to just practice with music if the click ends up being too boring for you. It actually teaches you some things about the feel of the track with relation to the drums you're playing or the practice that you're doing. And an added bonus is it helps you learn some things that other people are doing. So if you learn the music, you would hear the drummer do some things that you don't know how to do, and you can learn it and add it to your playing. Then you have things from here, things from there, from here, things from here, and you put all together and it becomes your own style, because no one has any original things to play. Everything has been played before. We just mix and match and make it our own style, put our own kind of spin on it, and ends up being and sounding and tasting really good. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about these tips. Which tip are you most excited to try out? And an added bonus is there's a link down below that goes to another video that talks about why you need to listen more. It's actually a really good video. You should check it out. Why you need to listen more. Okay, that's been it from me. This is your boy Jaystiqs, and stick with it. Peace.